Hello, welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be a very fun video because today we're going to be doing another informational plant tour. There's so much to talk about, so before we do go and start today's video, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go and start today's video. So first of all, heading in to the bathroom, we have the germination room. Now, you're probably wondering why the bathroom. It works perfectly because once the door is shut, this room is like a cave. You can't see anything, which is the most perfect environment for just basically germination room. And the humidity really gets trapped in here, which is really good. So first thing that's really good is the spinach is starting to germinate. So that is so awesome. I'm gonna let that sit for probably maybe 24 more hours. Definitely another day. So about this time tomorrow, I might be planting those in pots, but for now, I can't guarantee it because I might end up waiting another 24 hours depending on what happens. Then right here, there's some stuff happening. You can start to see the first seedlings starting to come up right there. And that is going to be basil. And then I'm also growing oregano. You can kind of see the line kind of dividing both of these pots. There's going to be 4 for each one, so that's very exciting. I'm also growing a lemongrass, and so far, I'm not seeing anything else. Peppermint and celery, so far nothing on those either. Everything is on germination trays too, or germination mats, which are basically just heated mats at that point. And I don't know the exact temperature they really heat up at. I think they just keep a constant temperature of about 70 degrees, which is perfect for what I'm looking for. Then I'm growing broccoli, asparagus, and bunching onions. So very excited about all of those. And then for the big finale of the germination room is I'm growing cilantro and parsley. Both of those are going to be very great add-ons to the garden outside. Now, since this room does need to be dark and the door needs to be shut, I'm going to go ahead and go into the greenhouse and go ahead and close off this room. All right, and the room is now closed, but there's a lot of stuff happening in here. I think I'm going to end with the aquaponics setup because usually I just start with that, or just usually start with that. I'm growing a lot of stuff over here. Now lately I've started with strawberries, or lately I've started with flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and start with flowers again. Then we have, first thing is going to be marigolds. I actually got these from actual marigold flowers. You can start to see they are germinating, but here's this. I planted both of these at the same time. This is my marigold seeds, and then that's another company's marigold seeds, True Leaf Market. So you definitely see a big improvement. Those are growing much better than the ones I have right now. But at the end of the day, I'm not planning to produce my own seeds. That was just something that fun to try out. I'm also growing California poppy seeds, cosmos, and golden daisies. Down here, I'm also growing what you would typically call your traditional cut flowers. Obviously, the family for cut flowers is huge, but some of my favorites is going to be zinnias and marigolds because those are very cool. Then going over here, this is going to be the very end for flowers, but we have cosmos, aster, impatiens, 4 o'clock, cypress, and snapdragon. And so far, there's been a lot more starting to germinate today, so I'm very excited about all of this. And yeah, we'll see how stuff does over time. Now, I'm going to let stuff grow a lot more, but if you look around, there is going to be some seeds that I accidentally got in some areas that I didn't mean to. So over time, as stuff starts to grow a lot more, I'll kind of pull some stuff out because you can see this is growing a lot, but there are going to be little plants right there that I might consider pulling out depending on what grows. So down here, I'm also growing a lot of tomatoes. I'm growing spring tomatoes, which is basically your usual like cheeseburger tomatoes or like on a salad. Then I have cherry tomatoes, and I have a ton of plants getting ready to go outside. Now I'm going to let these grow for a very long time until they're a lot bigger, and I do feel like the root structure in them is a lot bigger. So that'll take about a week, somewhere in about a week, and well, maybe a little bit more, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, but those will do very well once they're outside. Then I'm growing strawberries. I'm really hoping when I do my kind of spring trip up to just greenhouses, local greenhouses, especially Lowe's, because that's really where I've gone the last few years. But I'm really hoping to get some actual strawberry plants that I've grown. Now those are going to be a lot more expensive, but it'll give me the just a good chance to really work with that plant and really learn a lot more about working with strawberries indoors. I'm also going to be picking up a few other plants that I think might be good to work with that just either I don't have the space to grow it, or I've never grown it, or I've never germinated it in here before. Then I'm also growing strawberries right here. Those will probably most likely die out. And then I'm also growing these strawberries right here, and these are doing very, very well, because once I do start go for the produce, these, well, that's the main pot design. I'm really hoping to grow all the strawberries in. Now I'm hoping to have 3 in each one, but I tried out 2 to see just how big they will get, and if I should just add 2 or 3 in it. So I'll be testing that over time. But, well, I guess while we're over here, we can go back over here really quick. I'm growing a lot of peppers. I'm growing yellow, green, and red peppers. Very, very exciting. There's even more strawberries right there. 2 different kinds, some from True Leaf Market, which are the ones starting to turn red, which is not great. And then those strawberries you can see on this side, on the left side, is going to be strawberries that I actually got from real strawberries. Then I have rosemary, and the rosemary is finally starting to germinate. And then I have lavender, and some of the lavender is starting to germinate slowly. Going over here, I have a lot of progress happening. Now, what I've noticed lately with some of these plants is they're starting to kind of almost die out in a way. Now, that's not going to be the perfect word to describe what's really happening, but it seems pretty close in this type of situation. So first thing is, the bunching onions are doing incredibly well. They are really, really growing, and I'm really hoping to have this in the garden outside. So I'll be adding that pretty quick too. Then I have rosemary, and the rosemary is starting to turn a little bit brown, which indicates that that particular plant is starting to die out. So I guess I'll probably have to grab just something to cut it and just take that off the plant. I'm also growing cilantro or celery, and this is doing so incredibly well. Very, very excited about that, and yeah, we'll just see how it does over time. Then moving over to this shelf, there's a lot happening over here. I'm growing sugar peas. Those are doing very well, and they're growing so well. Then I have kind of like a hydroponic way of growing the tomatoes and strawberries. Strawberries kind of died out in the beginning, and tomatoes are absolutely thriving. Then I have just the blueberry plants. These do like acidic soil, so I'm going to have to kind of figure some stuff out when I do go outside with that. And that might be the main reason why the one did originally die out. So first one's going to be Blue Ray and Blue Crop. I do kind of feel like Blue Ray is doing a lot better in here, because check out that, just all those leaves. And then Blue Crop, just the leaves don't look as good, but at the end of the day, they still look very, very good. I guess it's just going to be the kind of leaves on that particular plant. But at the end of the day, we'll just see how everything grows and just learn from there. Then over here, there's a lot, so much progress really happening. First thing is going to be the broccoli plant is starting to die out, but dill and mustard is doing so incredible. I'm so excited about that, and it looks like I'm about to start getting some blooms there. Then turning around, doing the 180 right there, and the 360, we're going to go ahead and start talking about this, the ecosystem. I do still need to put a lot more water in it, because it is starting to get a little bit low, but you can see they're still eating on the tablets I threw in earlier. Just a beautiful, beautiful catfish right there. Beautiful, beautiful cleaner. You can see it right there. The guppies are starting to eat too. There are 3, but looks like the orange one is usually kind of in the back. I do feel like the shrimp have kind of just disappeared. I have seen a few in the past few days, but I did originally put 8 in, and lately I've only seen 2. So that is confusing. Don't really know what's happening there, but at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. Turning around, there's a lot of amazing stuff happening over here. Also, first thing is going to be, well, basically the aquaponic system. There's the word. So this fish tank is doing very, very well. I'm still working on some other plans of a fish tank I could design that would be a lot better for the next future aquaponic setup. And just a way bigger tank that can, well, the fish will thrive in, and it can have plants in, and it won't have gravel, where I can still clean the bottom a lot quicker than like the 20 to 40 minutes I put into cleaning this. Obviously, I still will have to clean it constantly, but the more time I can save, the better, and the more time I can put towards making videos for you guys. Then I'm growing basil, cilantro, parsley, oak leaf lettuce, tango lettuce, red ruby, gourmet mixture, salad bowl mix, butter crunch, and grand lettuce. I do feel like the parsley is starting to do very, very well, so I'm very excited about that. You can see the roots right there starting to thrive. I'm starting to consider some ways and some good alternatives I can change up to really make this do a lot better in the future. So I'm hoping that I can start them off like on these shelves, but I'm hoping to get a shelf that's a lot closer, and the grow lights will be like this close to the actual plant, and it'll just kind of almost look like it's cooking it in a way, but that would be perfect for in the very beginning trying to get the plants as big as possible. And I do think that could be a great way in order to grow these as best as possible. So I'm very, very excited about that. The basil probably won't recover. I don't think it'll really grow better, but some of the plants are still starting to recover, so there is still hope. Just what I've noticed with working with basil is it just doesn't recover as best as some other plants. I've never worked with cilantro, so I don't really know what to expect. But so far, the roots are recovering pretty well, actually. So I'm very, very excited about that. And yeah, this is basically going to be the end of the video. And that root structure is actually starting to grow again. You can start to see some right there, that really healthy white root right there. So I'm very, very excited about all of that, all the progress starting to happen. And yeah, this is basically going to be the end of the video. So if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you do not miss every video, and please like this video. Thank you all so incredibly much for watching today's video and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.